The problem is Christianity. Every major issue that we are currently dealing with in America, up to and including the recent events in Minneapolis, are because of Christianity and religiosity in general.
Now, why would you say that? There is literally nothing to do with Christianity at all. And if you were to blame it on Christianity, you would probably have to blame it on the modern Protestants. I myself am a Protestant. I've been feeling closer to Catholicism recently, but I would not blame it on Christians in general.
I've talked about this from a few different angles before, but I want to take a second and explain how you can draw a straight line from Christianity to the incidents with ICE committing horrendous acts, okay?
Father, forgive him, bro. What does ICE have to do anything with Christianity? It's gonna be a really interesting argument, I suppose.
Okay? The whole entire point of Christianity, and honestly almost every religion, is obedience.
Alright, we just got a liberal sissy here. I mean, bro, Jesus loves them, but what type of sissy argument is this, bro? Just admit you have a rainbow flag in your room already.
The point is that you shouldn't think for yourself. You shouldn't even believe what you see with your own eyes. You should just trust God.
You want me to trust Newton's third law when my cat died? Jenny, what point are you trying to make here? Achoo! May Newton's third law bless you. Like, are we serious, bruh?
You should just have faith. If you're looking at a painting of a dog, but your pastor says it's a painting of a cat, well then you have to believe your pastor.
Bible says nothing about only believing your pastor, by the way. I know if a pastor is lying, bro. Not everything they say is true, and a lot of people have been catching on to that recently.
And start seeing a cat if you want to be a good Christian.
I have a prediction he's gonna use the Old Testament as like something we use as like a role model for our life. But you guys support the Old Testament. No, bro, you're just uneducated.
This mentality makes people ripe for brainwashing. It makes people susceptible to believing alternative facts.
Alright, bro, you and your little left gang literally tell black people they're suppressed. Your little leftist gang broke into a church, a Catholic church, separated the children from the parents, started cursing at the children and making all the children crying, and did terrible things at a church. Christianity is not the problem here, bro.
Now, keep that in mind for a second and think about what we are seeing happen in Minneapolis and what the Trump administration is saying about what is happening in Minneapolis. We have video evidence of ICE doing awful things.
We also have evidence of people doing terrible things to ICE agents. There was an incident where an ICE agent had its finger bitten off and eaten. And like I said about the church thing, you're literally calling a Trump a pedophile and then defending pedophiles. Which side are you on here, bro? This isn't even about Christianity anymore.
Videos from multiple angles, videos that tell a very clear story. And the Trump administration is still lying about what happened. Video evidence clearly shows Renee Good was just trying to get away. She never hit anyone with her vehicle, but what did the Trump administration say? They said that she was a radical terrorist. They said she attempted to run over a law enforcement officer, and they even claimed that she actually did run a man over with her car, even though we can clearly see that she did not with our own eyes.
And, bro, also check with your own eye. A lot of the immigrants ICE deports are pedophiles. You can look up their name, and it'll show their criminal record. Terrible argument here. Yes, she did actually attempt to run over a guy instead of showing her ID for 3 seconds. 3 seconds, bro.
Video evidence clearly shows that Alex Preddy was just recording the situation on his phone and trying to help people who had been pepper sprayed and shoved to the ground.
You know what else there's video proof of? Alex Preddy damaging law enforcement's vehicle. That itself is a crime. There's that many people trying to terrorize law enforcement. Obviously, somebody's gonna die. As a Christian, death is never the answer. However, messing with law enforcement is a crime. And he did not deserve to die, however. He deserved to be punished in a way other than death.
He had a legal firearm on his side in his holster, but not in his hands. And by the time he was being shot, he no longer had the weapon on him anymore because an ICE agent had taken it. But what is the Trump administration saying? They're saying he was a radical terrorist. Stephen Miller even called him an assassin. DHS said Preddy showed up wanting to massacre law enforcement, which, if true, you'd have thought he would have shown up with his weapon drawn or let off a couple rounds. But he clearly did not do that. And again, we can see that with our own eyes.
Something I can hear with my own ears is that this has nothing to do with Christianity. So you just made this video hating on Christians, not even specifying which denomination, not that that denomination has to do with much, but just blames it on us. A Christian did not shoot him, by the way.
Trump's main voting base, time and time again, are Christians. He's in power because of Christianity.
No, I've met quite a few Trump supporters who actually hate the idea of Jesus Christ, so that's a factually incorrect statement. By the way, Trump did do a few good things, like he saved 62,000 kids from being sex trafficked and abused. Not that you care, because, they were sex trafficked and abused by black people. If it's a black person, no, they're innocent and oppressed.
He appeals to Christians. He sells Bibles, talks about God and righteousness, because he knows that these people have the exact mental conditioning that he needs for his administration to be able to do and say the things that he wants.
Christianity has been around for thousands of years. It's not mind-washing, bruh.
He knows that deeply religious people will reject evidence and just flat out believe him if he tells them to do so.
Alrighty, bro, you can take off the jockstrap now. We know you're the left sissy.
Go to the profile of anyone saying that these recent actions by ICE were justified. Tell me how quickly you see a cross emoji, or how quickly you see something saying Jesus is king, or you can only be saved through Christ. I guarantee you won't have to scroll for long.
Actually, this is not true. Other MAGA supporters have told me I'm crazy for believing in Jesus and supporting Trump to an extent, so this is not true. You're literally just stating propaganda.
Christianity, and again, religion in general, destroys the rational, logical, reasoning parts of the brain when taken seriously. The reason Christians can be spoon-fed these lies from the Trump administration and believe them is because their mental defenses against lies have been obliterated and replaced with blind faith.
Yeah, this guy definitely wears a jockstrap. Or his wife does. It's one of the two.
So yeah, the problem is Christianity. Maybe that makes you uncomfortable, but it doesn't make it any less true. And we need to start being honest and talking about how this reality warping zombie mind virus is a detriment to our society, or the American experiment just might be living out its last days.
I see a really common occurrence here. When Biden let in thousands of illegal immigrant children, most of them were being sex trafficked and abused. People like this say Trump is the bad guy, which is false.
And on that note, I'm going to be over here being good without God. And just for the record, fuck ICE, fuck Nazis, fuck fascists, and fuck Trump.
Just so you know, you're closer to a Nazi than any of us are. You literally pretend black people are oppressed for your self-confidence. I'm saying this from a black person's perspective. There's a ton of black people online who admit that leftists act like they are so suppressed, and they have the exact same legal rights as white people. And you like to lie about them, say they're oppressed and stuff. That's more racist than anything I've ever said, Trump has ever done, and so on. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Like I said, I have a goal for 100 followers. I will start straight preaching. And yeah, God bless you. God bless y'all. Goodbye.